Hello, my name is Elise and I am a full-time dessert blogger. I run a website, Sweets by Elise. You can check it out, sweetsbyelise.com in your web browser, or you can check it out in the description below. I specialize in making really easy, indulgent, and quick desserts, but I do know how difficult it can be to get in the kitchen when you are not super experienced. Trust me, I know, I get it. Even now, with hundreds of recipes under my belt and lots of hours in the kitchen, it can just be daunting to try a new recipe or try a new technique. But I think baking should be so fun, and I think it is so important to be able to get in the kitchen and get to make something fun without a huge hassle, a big mess, or a big catastrophe. When I first started baking, I had a million baking fails and definitely had to work my way up to be able to just make the common bake. And I've learned so much along the way and now develop recipes with tons of tips and tricks to hopefully make baking easier for you. And so for today's video, I thought, why not share my 5 easiest recipes on the blog, in my opinion. Each of these recipes takes under 30 minutes to make. It's made with very simple ingredients and simple techniques. Most of them, I'm pretty sure, only need 1 bowl, a whisk, not a ton of techniques and crazy tools and things. So these are right up your alley if you're looking for an easy bake. If this is the first time you're baking or the first time you're baking in a while, these are my go-to recipes for a super quick pinch. I just think they are the bomb.com. To start, it's the best recipe I've ever developed in my entire life. My bakery chocolate chip cookies. I talk about these like they are my prized possession, and that's because they are. They are so good. They are the thickest, chewiest, fudgiest, softest chocolate chip cookies in the entire world. They're little pucks, except the entire cookie is soft. I feel like there are some cookies that are really thick, but they're kind of cakey and they're kind of dry. That is not the case with these cookies at all. But along with the theme of the entire video, they are so easy to make. Use melted butter in this recipe, which means that there is, first of all, flavor in every bite. Second of all, you do not need a mixer. And third, you don't have to worry about certain cues with the butters and the sugar, which you usually do have to when you are baking cookies. The cookies are made in 1 bowl with a whisk and a spatula. The whisk is for the wet ingredients and the spatula is for holding in the dry ingredients and the chocolate chips. You can roll them into any size you like. I normally like them a little bit bigger. What can I say? They're so good. I just want more. And they take less than 30 minutes to make. Truthfully, I think you could have them out and ready to eat in about 20. So get involved. For that recipe, I also have a walkthrough video of me making the cookies on this channel. I will link that in the description, or you can type in Sweets by Elise Bakery Chocolate Chip Cookies in your YouTube browser or even your web browser, and you'll be able to find me making them, and the recipe will also be linked in the description. I have a ton of helpful tips and tricks in both the recipe and the recipe video, so whatever you're looking for. But you will need the recipe on sweetsbyelise.com for the actual measurements, because I don't include that in my YouTube video. The next recipe, little drum roll, my healthy banana brownies. This is one of the most popular recipes on my blog right now. It has consistently been very popular since I published it. It's just the best. I'm a big brownie fan. I love chewy, thick, and fudgy brownies, and these brownies are almost as good as just a regular brownie. You can barely tell that they have nicer, cleaner ingredients. I personally think that all baked goods are healthy for the body and the soul and the mind and the heart, but these are made with technically healthier ingredients, if you're asking somebody who might be into that kind of stuff. Again, this recipe is made in 1 bowl with a whisk. You even need a spatula for this one, and you literally just throw all the ingredients together and mix. That's all it is. It's nothing crazy. I do start mixing the wet and then add the dry. I don't just throw everything together, so I will put that little caveat out there, but it is so simple. You literally can't mess it up. And the best part is that these are so good at room temperature. They're so good frozen, and they're so good warm. All 3. They're incredible. Again, that link will be in the description, or you can type in Sweets by Elise healthy banana brownies into your web browser and the recipe should come up. Or you can go to sweetsbyelise.com and type in healthy banana brownies in that search button. My roommate and I made these once a week for the entire semester, last semester. It was that bad or that good, whichever way you want to look at it. They are like unreal. Moving on to my next recipe, my blueberry cottage cheese muffins. I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, ew, cottage cheese, woof, disgusting, ew. Cottage cheese has become the biggest craze. I absolutely hate it. It's disgusting. I will never eat it. I will never become a cottage cheese gal, promise you, but you cannot taste it in these muffins. Most of my muffins and loaves and cakes even, and cupcakes, truthfully, I use sour cream. Cottage cheese can be a substitute for sour cream and has a lot of similar properties to it. Usually you blend it for an actual sour cream substitute, but in this recipe, you don't even need to blend it, which is why I'm putting it on my easiest recipe list. You get such great flavor. The texture's incredible. The muffins rise so high. I put a sugar topping on top. You can add that. You don't have to. That's an extra step. So if you're really, really looking for easy, leave out just sprinkling sugar on top. But again, that will take you maybe 30 seconds. Anyway, these muffins are awesome. Also one of the most popular recipes on my blog. I think probably because of the cottage cheese craze, but they are impeccable. Again, a 1 bowl recipe with a whisk and a spatula. I don't even need the spatula, truthfully. You do to fold in the blueberries. I would use a spatula for that because if you use a whisk, it could break the blueberries and that impacts everything. So use a spatula. But again, 1 bowl, 2 tools, that's it. So easy. They're ready in 30 minutes. Give them a try. Just as with the other 2 recipes, the recipe will be linked in the description, or you can type in Sweets by Elise, the blueberry cottage cheese muffins in your browser, and they will pop right up, hopefully, if I've done my job right. All right, stay put with me. My roommates say that this recipe is the best recipe I've ever developed, and it's very recent. It is peanut butter Nutella cookies. Imagine a peanut butter blossom. If you haven't had a peanut butter blossom, they are normally around Christmas. I eat them all year. They are a peanut butter cookie rolled in sugar, and then there is a Hershey Kiss in the center after the cookies have baked. So imagine that same base of the peanut butter cookie rolled in sugar, but instead there's Nutella in the center that has softened because it was put on a warm cookie. The Nutella does firm up if you would like it that way, or you can wait until the cookies have fully cooled if you really want firm Nutella and are passionate about firm Nutella. But if you are interested in serving the cookies with warm, drippy Nutella, do it when they're slightly warm. Anyways, I like this recipe a lot because even though there's 2 components, you have a cookie and a filling. Filling you don't have to make. It's just store-bought Nutella. This recipe does require a mixer. That is the only downside to it. That's the only downside. But again, you literally just throw things into a bowl. You do have to beat butter and sugar like I was talking about earlier, that you don't have to do with the chocolate chip cookies, but you could literally put your mixer on for 2 minutes and you're good. That's it. Nothing crazy. If you're really wanting to skip some steps and make things easier, don't roll the cookies in sugar. I think it gives a cool texture and a nice look, but if you're in the mood for something just as simple as can be, leave them out of the sugar. Easy peasy, not a big deal. Peanut butter, Nutella, cookies, Sweets by Elise in your browser, or click on it in the description below. This recipe is thebomb.com. This one might be a little bit of a shock because it does have 3 separate components. It is my strawberry crunch pound cake. It's new on the blog and it's the best recipe ever. It's perfect for spring and summer. Get involved with it. It has a vanilla cake base with fresh strawberries mixed in. Then it has a strawberry glaze, and then it has a strawberry crunch topping. Imagine those popsicles that you would get at the pool or like a carnival. They had the strawberry crunch around the outside of it. That's the topping, just a homemade version of it. Now you might be thinking to yourself, that's a little bit complex. There are 3 separate parts to this one recipe. The cake is the simplest cake you'll ever make. I'm pretty sure there's like 8 ingredients, which is pretty low for a cake. You literally mix everything together with a whisk, no spatula needed. Well, again, you might need the spatula to fold in the strawberries, but you could probably get away with just a whisk. And then from there, you just pop it in a loaf pan, pop it in the oven. I've tested it a million times in several different ovens. It should be fine in any oven. Just listen to the baking cues that I put in the recipe tips and tricks. And then from there, the glaze is 3 ingredients. You use a fork to make it in just a large bowl. Powdered sugar, a strawberry, and some milk or heavy cream or even water, whatever you want. And you literally mix it together until it makes the glaze consistency that you'd like. And then the crunch topping is crushed Oreos, melted butter, and strawberry jello powder. And you just mix that together with a fork as well. That's it. And then the decoration, pour the glaze on top, pour the strawberry crunch, use your hands to push it into the glaze. That's it. I know that that might be surprising that this is on the list, but I promise it is so easy. It's so simple. You can really reuse the same bowl after you wash it. You make the cake, wash the bowl, make the glaze, wash the bowl, make the crunch, wash the bowl. It could be a 1 bowl recipe and you only need a whisk and a fork. Seems so complex and seems so elevated, but it's so unique. It's so quick. It's so easy. No one will ever know that it literally took you maybe 20 minutes of total of prep. And then obviously there's like 40 minutes of bake time, but you're not doing anything. You can clean the house and maybe run to the grocery. How close is your grocery store? Depends. It's the best recipe. So those are my current top 5 easiest recipes in my opinion today. Again, the whole purpose of my blog is for easy, approachable recipes that are going to come out successful and not have any sort of crazy baking fails if you follow the instructions and read the tips and tricks. So if any of those recipes that I just talked about didn't float your boat, you can check me out at sweetsbyelise.com, and there's tons of other recipes. I feel like especially my most recent recipes are even easier than some of my older recipes because I'm just finding ways to get more and more efficient. But I would love for you to try out any of these recipes, especially if you're new to the kitchen. Again, I know it can be so scary and you don't want to waste your time, your money, your ingredients, but these, I promise, you've got them. You got it. I'm here for you too. If you need anything, you can message me through the comments here on YouTube, or you can message me on Instagram. I'm at Sweets by Elise blog on all platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok. Check me out. I'm here if you need me. And I would love to hear if you gave these recipes a try. You can leave a review on the actual website, sweetsbyelise.com, under the specific recipe, or you can message me, and I would love to hear how things went. So subscribe for more recipe roundups just like this one, baking tips, answering your questions, baking walkthroughs. I have lots of fun baking related content here and lots more coming your way, and would love for you to hang out with me. So please hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and as always, happy baking.